What's up? What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk about it. It's been a lot of confusion out here. A lot of confusion. And I'm not surprised. Not surprised. A lot of people are confused because it's been a lot of misinformation on the subject. So let's get things cleared up. People sending me videos saying, yo, she was with Tupac the night before he got killed. I thought she was with, he was with Kadada. What happened? So I'm like, man, let me go ahead and get all of this addressed. Please hit the like button so people can start getting notifications. I'm glad you got a notification, sir. That's outlawed. Yes, definitely hit the like button for all the people out there, and definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button if you're new here, and select all so that you can get all notifications whenever we go live. We don't want to have no book with a miss. Now, when Tupac met Keisha Moore, you know, she's from Harlem. She's a good person, a very good person. I don't want people to think she's just a bad person or she's out for fame and all this stuff. Keisha Moore was one of these people that's a rarity. And Tupac saw that in her immediately. She's a rarity. She is somebody that is infatuated with him and was a fan. She was a true fan of Tupac, loved him. But with that comes a bit of, gullibleness, a simpleness. And Tupac knew and basically, played off of it. Because Tupac has this way that he gets women is that they perceive him off the character they see on the screen, and they see he's rugged, he's wild, he's a thug. But when he talks to the women, he's very polite. He's very respectful. And women are stunned when they see this. And it makes him more attractive in their eyes. This is his weapon. And this is how he always got the women, because he knew how to appease them. He knew what they were looking for. And he'll reveal his true self to them and say, that's just the character I portray, for that. But this is me. Women love to be revealed to. So, they dated for a while, but he was dating other women. We know that. But still, she feels I'm Tupac's girl. Now, her mother didn't like Tupac at all. Because she knows her daughter is simple as 1, 2, 3. So she's basically, no, girl, not him. But then, he really smooth talked her, told her he liked the daughter, and he was very respectful, bought her a dog named Player. They were together for a little bit while he was in New York. Then some things happened. Let's get to the confusion. Now, while they're together, Pac ends up with this case that goes on. He stays at her house. He switches from her house, stays at Jasmine Guy's house, stays at a couple other people's house. right? We all know this is fact. So if Tupac was so in love with this Keisha woman, why would he be dating like three other women and messing around with her at the same time? Then the trial comes and everything else. He's staying at Keisha's house. He's going back and forth on this trial. She's standing there with him the whole time. She's supporting him, giving him a place to stay. The mother is like incensed with the whole situation. So once he gets convicted, which they never thought was going to happen, but he gets convicted and has to go, to jail and everything, she moves out there. She moves out there to be close to the prison. They get married. They get married against her mother's will. She marries Tupac, moves out there, and the whole time she's basically doing all of his business. She can come and visit because she's the spouse. And, he's bringing clothes, bringing cigarettes, bringing whatever he needed to get in, you know, moving stuff. Packages are coming in. People are sending stuff to her. And that was her job. But Pac always treated her with respect. But she was by herself for a good period of time before some of the members of the Outlaws came to visit him in prison. They would stay there, so she wouldn't be alone because her mom was barely talking to her when she did that. So once Tupac got released, he was still in New York, going through, the process exchange and everything else. So while he's doing that, he still has stuff, there. His family member came and got the stuff from the house and told her, your 15 minutes of fame is up. He don't need you no more. So she felt stupid because his family and friends told her that. They never liked her anyways. And for some weird reason, they just didn't like her. His side of the family, they was just like that. And they was just like, okay, you can go back to your life. And she felt used. Like she felt real low. Now, did they have sex in prison and all that? I don't really care about that stuff. That's not the point. That's their business. Those are two consenting adults. She said they didn't have sex because it was Tupac's decision, whatever. Um, while he was in prison, rather. That's their business. They consenting adults. That's not the point we getting into right now. Let's get to the now. Let's get to the gist of the situation now. So Pac is out. A few months later, they're like he moves back to California, and they're talking about getting this wedding, this marriage thing annulled immediately. And that's why people was like, why did y'all annul it then if it wasn't just to, for his convenience that you meant something? In her mind, she want the marriage to mean something. She's trying to save face where she doesn't look so stupid, for doing what she did. So for her, she's trying to make the relationship out to be more than what it was. Tupac cared about her. It's not that Tupac didn't care about her. He did, but he saw her as a convenience. So, wow, everybody wants to intervene with the video. So he saw her as a convenience and used her as that. He needed her to get some things done, and he knew he could trust her. She was fandom starstruck, but she wasn't somebody who was seeking attention. You know, she wasn't somebody that was out to get attention. She was not somebody that said, you know what, I need the camera on me at all times. She was not that person. No, no, this is Keisha Moore. Now, while the wedding and everything else is getting annulled, it was more for tax reasons on his part and everything else, and he don't want to have to, be owing her money down the road. So, well, she didn't really want fame. She just wanted to be Tupac's wife. She wanted to be with Tupac, and that's just that. She loved him. But the love was different on his side, and that's just it. He wasn't ready to be where she wanted him to be. And he knew that was his good girl. You know, any guys in the game and who was a player in the game, they know they always had a good girl. She was the good girl. She wasn't going to cheat on him. She wasn't going to do anything that was disloyal. Now, they hadn't had contact in a long time because when she moved to California, they got everything annulled. Her parents said, get it annulled and, go about your business. Oh, really? That's why I know all this because I don't know nothing about the situation. Thank you for telling me that. Mac Bay 2005. Now, Tupac was coming to New York for the MTV Awards. So they knew this is the first time since Hit 'Em Up he was coming back to New York. So he got all the people in place. People telling him he good, he good, he good. Greg Nice has called everybody so that, like, look, we come in. They're like, man, ain't nobody even looking to do nothing like that. And everybody we know, what I'm saying, ain't gonna let that happen to Pac. No, he good. So the Bronx was good. Fat Joe told him he good. They called up a lot of people, man, from the East Coast. Buckshot and them was riding with him. A lot of his dudes, man, Jersey was on deck, so he ain't have to worry about it. Fatal was already in Jersey because Pac was mad at him after he did something and, well, totaled his brand new car. So Pac sent him home, and this is the first time Fatal didn't see Pac in a minute because he been back at the crib. So Pac was coming back in town, and they went back to Jersey. I mean, they was all in Jersey, and they was so deep. They were at least 50 dudes deep in Jersey. And then they all had brand new shirts to wear. Suge had them boxes of shirts. Death Row East. and gave it to all the Jersey dudes and told them to wear it. Oh, thanks, Mac Bay. So when he got in New York, he called Keisha, his ex-wife, who he ain't talked to in months. Now at this time, remember, he's so in love with Kadada. So in love with Kadada. He in New York. He calls up Keisha and like, Keisha, come see me. She's like, after all this time, after what y'all did to me, come see me. I need you to come see me. So she comes see him. She come over there to the Hotel Nico down in that's when they had the Hotel Nico in New York, out there in New Jersey or somewhere. So he was at the Hotel Nico, you know, those Chinese restaurant. I mean, they got a Chinese restaurant and hotel. So he out there doing that. And she just laying there, they talking and everything else. And of course she said, we just went to sleep. We didn't have sex. Okay, whatever story they want to stick with is their thing. But she was there that day. And she got up and left the morning while he was still asleep. So that was the last time she ever saw Pac, and he called her later and was like, why did you leave? She was like, you was resting so peacefully, I didn't want to wake you up. And that was the last time she talked and heard from Pac. And he was like, I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay. So that was the last time she heard from Pac. And that wasn't the day before he was shot. I think I don't know how they got this story twisted up. She got herself twisted in the situation. She was not with Tupac the night before he was shot. Somebody has a video out now. I don't want to say the name wrong, but I think it's Discretion TV or something. And he plays like the interview where they're talking about it. And it wasn't the night before. It was the week before. She was with him the week before. It wasn't the night. I think they got it all screwed up. It was when he was in the town for the MTV Awards. That's when she saw him. Then the next week is when, he had gotten shot. Because the night before, yeah, it's just a common mistake. Discretion, he be going in on people. He be going in. I was like, he gave me a shout out in one of the videos talking about Tupac LL. LL is supposed to be in there before Pac. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You think LL Cool J rocked the bells? Alone, he's supposed to be in there. If Run DMC is in there, LL better follow right behind it. And LL is not dissing Pac, dude. I know what you doing, but that's wrong. He's not dissing no Pac again. Pac supposed to be in there. They all gonna be in there. Yeah, it's ton of people that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Plus, LL and Pac ain't had no real beef. It was beef over a woman that LL didn't even want no more. Yeah, so that was the only mistake. Is that because in an interview she says it all goofy and screwed up. She was with him the weekend before he got shot. She wasn't with him the night before. That lady, I think she got it all screwed up because the night before he was with Kadada. And then he did the toss him up video the next day. And that's the one where he almost burnt down the whole set and almost burnt up everything because they didn't have the fire right and all that stuff for the Toss It Up video. And that was the last thing he did was the Toss It Up video before he got on the plane to go to Vegas. So Keisha was nowhere around for that activity. That Kadada and everything, all that, them about to get married. I mean, discretion is right about that. He was not finna marry no damn Kadada. That was not going down. What Pac was doing was what he was doing with Keisha. The same thing. He was getting what he needed. He got what he needed out of Keisha. He was getting what he needed out of Kadada. Kadada was mad at LL because she thought LL was using her to get to her father. And LL left because they was in a lot of voodoo and Buddhism stuff that he wasn't a part of. He didn't want no parts of that. He saw them praying at them statues, and LL packed his bags and was like, I'm out. LL wasn't mad at all. LL got rid of them. Quincy Jones got up out of there. I mean, he was still cool with LL. LL had the TV show already that Quincy Jones was producing in the house. So LL was good. And she was like, you used me to get to my father. And what Tupac needed was for, Quincy Jones to help him. He needed to get back in the movie game. Because in Hollywood, he was burnt up. He couldn't get no roles. John Singleton wasn't checking for him at all. So all this lie about Pac was going to be in Baby Boy and Pac was going to, he wasn't finna do nothing for Pac. Rest in peace. I don't want to talk on the dead like that, but he wasn't trying to do nothing for Pac. Absolutely not. So Pac used these girls for what he needed. LL got out of there quick, fast, in a hurry, went to his baby mom's, the mother of his children, who he hadn't been with in years. In years. He went there, knocked on her door, rung the bell, and was knocking on the door. And she opened the door and he grabbed her and hugged her and said, let's do this. Let's get married. Ain't seen her, ain't been romantically with her in years. Came back, and that's what his first words were. I'm ready to do this. I'm serious. We got to get married. He was scared to death. So what LL saw and Quincy Jones and Kadada Jones, it scared the life out of him. And he hinted to it only a little bit. But he did not want to go all the way into it. Because he's like, look, my faith is in God and everything else. So he saw some things he wasn't supposed to see. And got out of there. And Kadada was destroyed. She was destroyed. So she was pushing Tupac's buttons to get at LL. And when Tupac started dissing New York and all that, and LL was cool with Puffy at the time. So that's what led to the whole line. talking about in LA they gang bang, but if they touch a mic, they ass hangs. That's fact. Woo, man, LL was lucky to be able to come back to Cali. Lucky. And the only way he was done because he was protected. That was the only way he could come back to Cali. They couldn't touch LL. What's up, Discretion? Yeah, I saw your videos, man. Busy as I was, I saw them. I see you be riding. Matter of fact, they sent me your video and was like, she was there the day before Tupac. I'm like, oh, no, she wasn't. I'm like, she got her story mixed up. But that ain't your fault because she did the interview where she said it, but she got it wrong. But L, yeah, she got that mad wrong. But L and Tupac, they squashed that so quick because it was all over Kadada, and she was really pushing that. But L was only riding because of Puff and Big. At the time, Puff wanted to be his manager until, the money was crazy. Puff tried to overcharge him. That's why on Phenomenon, Honey came and dripped in Chanel, hates some, he's on some love some Tupac, hates some LL. That whole verse, he's talking about that. Do you really want a thug or do you want to be loved? Something like a phenomenon. Something like a phenomenon. Love some Tupac, hate some LL. Said, baby, do you really want a thug or do you want to be loved? So he was taking his shots. During that time, he was taking his shots because he was riding with Puffy now. So LL was gonna run him right over. LL was running right. Like, you want to get involved? Okay. And he was thinking, oh, you want to get involved because of Kadada. Okay. This Kadada and I kidnap your daughter, kill your wife, and hit the funeral until you just gave the order. Do LL and Biggie have unreleased songs? Absolutely, they do. They have Who Shot You. LL Cool J was on Who Shot You. And he got off Who Shot You real quick. So that verse will probably never be heard. Biggie got unreleased songs with Naughty by Nature and Onyx. And he got unreleased music with with Brand Nubian. He got Brand Nubian. But Puff probably got all of them in the vault. And who knows when he'll probably use those to make a whole new Biggie song. But Biggie didn't have a lot of material. Biggie wasn't somebody that made a whole lot of songs. He was too busy writing for other people. Yeah, Keith Murray verse is on there, but they ended up letting Biggie do the whole song, and Murray put his verse on. You got it on the Mary J. Blige remix. Cause Who Shot You was gonna be The Who Shot You joint was LL, Biggie, and Keith Murray. Arms, legs. So they end up cutting that verse off, and that verse was, man, that was sick. Keith Murray went off. But the LL verse you never heard. LL heard Biggie spit on that song and said, I'm not getting on this. Mm-mm. Nah, no, forget about it. Nah, buddy. Nah, nah, he ain't finna burn me on that record. Nah. No, I'm the greatest of all times because I know when to get in the ring and when not to get in the ring. I'm going home, Puff. No, sir. They tripping. Biggie ain't finna embarrass me. I'm going home. So, nah, he was going home. Who protected LL and Cali? He had paid security. And he had goons. They knew he couldn't be touched. LL was moving around in Cali, doing what he had to do. Then he was back home, back in the East Coast. But L wasn't being touched. He was protected. Plus, Quincy, basically told Tupac, LL, leave LL alone. Like, whatever y'all got, don't you bother LL. I like LL. He got LL Cool J to rap for Bill Clinton for the inauguration. That's how much he loved LL. Oh, the outro? Yep. He said, the only video I disagree with you. No, LL's supposed to go in discretion. What you mean? He's supposed to go in before Pac. He's supposed to go in before Pac. Look, he's a legend in the game before Pac. Before Pac even was doing anything with Digital Underground, he was already Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First two albums, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Period. Rock the Bells right now is still a beat people play to this day. The whole Bad album, he's supposed to be in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, period. He took rap to the whole nother level. There wouldn't be no love songs by anybody if it wasn't for LL. Nobody. I Need Love changed the game. But that was the thing. Pac was a fan of LL. Never had a problem with him whatsoever. And it was a shock to hear him when he heard LL talking about some, I shot you. I shot you. Oh, I was shocked. So when Pac respond, it was normally a sign of disrespect. He's somebody that blew up all the way. All the way. But Pac had love across the board. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people didn't understand. It's not like we're dissing Keisha. People are like, man, y'all dissing Keisha. She's a nice girl. She was just as simple as 1, 2, 3. That's just it. Just naive. We've all know that girl. She had no malicious intent. She didn't try to go out and harm Tupac, but she knows she can make a couple of dollars, do a little interview here and there, but she ain't somebody that's finna jump out there and plus his family don't like her. For some reason, his family didn't like her. And I don't know why. They just didn't. No, I wouldn't advise Tupac to fight no LL Cool J. Tupac would not fight no LL Cool J. Let's just get that. No, that's not a good idea. That's not. I'm not. I would. I won't say like he's scared. No, he probably would. I just wouldn't advise. That wouldn't have been a good advisory thing to do. This is why most dudes who have beef with LL, they ain't bothered. Dude's about 6 feet 2, 6'3", 6'4", like 265 solid muscle. Most of them rappers are 5'10", 5'5". You know what I'm saying? They about 5'5", 5'6", about 170 pounds talking tough. Then they see LL, they chill out. So it is what it is. They got an annulment because for tax reasons for Pac, that's why they wanted to get it annulled. So if you get it annulled, the wedding annulled, then it's like it never happened. It's done. So there's no legal financial terms that he got to provide to her. And she didn't want anything. And that she's like I said, she was a good person, good heart person, just there for him. That was his good girl. No, the person that did this Pac and threw a little shot was Jay-Z. He threw a little shot, a little jab, but he got corrected when he got tied up in a hotel in LA when he thought Dr. Dre was, protecting him. And he found out real quick Dre can't help you. Next thing you know, he was done with Dre. That boy was Tupac. He forgot Biggie existed. That boy was Tupac everything now. Machiavelli, Tupac, my guy, I love you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened to Jay-Z? All I need in my life is me and my girlfriend. I'm like, man, what's going on with Jay-Z? Somebody tapped him on the shoulder. Like, we need to talk about that record. See, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's the song Jay-Z did on the Blueprint called All I Need. All I Need. And on that song, he throws a little jab out there. He goes, all I need in my life is me and my girlfriend. I got a little tutu. We call her Peggy Sue. That was people on the West Coast didn't like that at all. People on the West Coast did not like that at all. First, Pac didn't like you. 2, Pac didn't like you. 3, you was a Biggie guy. Biggie's right-hand man. And then you come out there and do that little laugh at the end of it. They knew you throwing shots. You throwing shots. That's why you got people took you in a hotel room, tied you up, and you had to cut a deal. He thought he could do anything he wanted to do. He was in LA sitting courtside at the Lakers game with Dr. Dre. They were like, he was really thinking Dre had that kind of protection and pull in LA. He did not. And he found that out real quick and he stopped hanging with Dre immediately. You didn't see him with Dr. Dre for years. Yeah, see, a lot of people didn't catch that. But the West Coast caught it. I caught it. I knew what he was doing. But Jay told this is what the excuse was. Not too many people know either. So you get a lot of gems today. This is what was told. Jay-Z was sending a shout out to Beyonce because nobody really knew that they were a couple at the time. So he was throwing her a shout out. That's why he had laughed at the end of it. Like he was throwing a little shot just for her to hear. And he laughed. He wasn't trying to make fun of Tupac. This is what he was saying when he was jammed up. Now, whether you want to believe that or not, it's on you. I'm just going to give you both sides of it. But the man got jammed up. So once he was jammed up, he cut a deal. And by using Tupac's song, Me and My Girlfriend, and then he used Tupac's lyrics on another song, he gave writing credits to Death Row so that they got to eat off that album, Blueprint 2. So that's the way he took care of the money situation, cleaned it, so Death Row would get their cut. So he did that whole Me and My Girlfriend thing. So Death Row got paid off that song. Right, and he put Beyonce on the record. So when he threw that shout out there, Me and My Girlfriend record on Blueprint 1, he was laughing. Then he ended up doing the song with Beyonce to back up the excuse. By now, we all used to Jay's BS. So to make his BS reality, he went and made the song to say, see, I told you that's why I was throwing a shout out to her. And that was like the first time people heard us together was on Me and My Girlfriend. No, he didn't know why Pac was mad at him. Because Jay really didn't have a problem with Pac. He really didn't. But he was like, okay, this could be some fun back and forth stuff that could work for us. But everybody was like, nah, I don't get in that mud. It's way too ugly. Dame was right about that. Dame was like, don't get in that, Jay. Don't do that. That's ugly. Like that mess they got going, don't get yourself caught in that. You don't want no parts of that. And he was right. You don't want no part of what's going on over there. Like, let Biggie handle his own situation. Yeah. It's a lot that went down after that, man. Like, we'll probably talk about that on the Patreon. Like what happened on the Biggie night. But it was the writing was on the wall, like everywhere, and everybody knew in LA something was finna happen that weekend. They were warned by people they knew who cared about them. Was like, look, dude, something about to happen. We don't know what, when, or where, but it's going down. And then after it went down, some other stuff happened. It wasn't done. So we'll talk about that on Patreon. I'm going to get out of here. 1, don't forget, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe hit that notification bell and select all so you get all your notifications. And definitely hit up my Cash App. Carcino is the name on the Cash App. And join the Carcino for Life Patreon. That's the best thing I can tell you, because, yeah, we're going to get into a lot of stuff over there.